Hello, so today we're going to be talking about how to find the vertex of a quadratic from standard form. And as a refresher, this is what standard form looks like. Ax squared plus bx plus c. A, b, and c are just coefficients or numbers in front of these variables. So there's two options that we have. We can either use this formula, opposite of b over 2a, and then take that and replace it into our equation to find k and our vertex, h comma k. Or we can complete the square to write it in vertex form, which looks like this. So I'm going to show you both ways, and sometimes one way might be easier than the other, but I wanted to review both options for you. So taking a look at this first equation, x squared minus 8x plus 11, let's use this method up here, opposite of b over 2 times a, to find your h value. So h is opposite of b over 2 times a. And let's look at our equation. Our a value, the number in front of x squared, is 1. Our b value, the number in front of x, is negative 8. And our c value is positive 11. Okay, so when you go to replace into this equation, our h is opposite of b, so opposite of negative 8 is positive 8, over 2 times a, which is 1. So in this case, our h value is 8 over 2, which is 4. So we have our h value, that's great, but now we need to find our k value of our vertex, which means we take this and we replace it everywhere we see x in our equation. So what that looks like is, to find our k, it's going to be 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 11. So in this case, 4 squared, 16, minus 32 plus 11. And when you put all those together, you end up getting negative 5. So then your vertex would be 4 comma negative 5. So this is just reviewing what we already know, your vertex hk for negative 5. So that's using this formula, opposite of b over 2 times a. But now let's see what this would look like using the exact same equation if we were to complete the square. So if you recall, when you complete the square, you want to write it as a perfect square, something x plus or minus something, quantity squared, and whatever that something is going to be your h value, and whatever numbers on the outside is your k value. So when you go to complete the square, we put those in parentheses to show that we are going to complete that, factor that to be our perfect square. And then you still have that plus 11 on the outside. But if you recall, whatever you add on the inside when you complete the square, you're going to have to subtract it on the outside, right? These signs will be the opposite. Those numbers need to cancel each other out. So if you recall from completing the square, you take your b value and divide it by 2. Whatever this is inside the parentheses, you divide it by 2, so negative 4. But then you square that. Negative 4 squared is positive 16. So that means negative 16 goes on the outside. So then when you go to factor this, x squared minus 8x plus 16, that means x minus 4 quantity squared. That's what this factors to be, right? What multiplies to positive 16 and adds to negative 8? That's negative 4 and negative 4, which can be written as x minus 4 squared. A shortcut is whatever you divided by 2, that's the value that goes inside the parentheses, right? And then on the outside, you combine those two numbers. 11 minus 16 is negative 5. And then don't forget the f of x on the outside, right? So this is our equation in vertex form. So that means our vertex is opposite of whatever's on the inside, so positive 4, same as the outside, negative 5. Yeah? So those are the two options, right? And these ones are pretty basic, but let's take a look at these next two g of x, the same equations. So it says g of x is negative 2x squared minus 12x minus 10, and right away you should be able to notice that how these equations are different. We have an a value that is not 1, so this kind of ups our game. So let's try this same method as we did up above on this problem. A is 1, b is, a is not 1, a is negative 2, b is negative 12, and c is negative 10. So when we go to use our equation, just like last time, it's the opposite of b, so positive 12 over 2 times a, or 2 times negative 2. So h is 12 over negative 4. So h is negative 3. And then you take this and you replace it back into your equation to find your k. So k is negative 2 times negative 3 squared, replacing it, minus 12 times negative 3 minus 10. In this case, order of operations, exponents first, so negative 2 times 9 minus 12 times negative 3 minus 10. In other words, negative 18, positive 36 minus 10. And when you combine that, your k value is positive 8, which means in this case your vertex is negative 3, positive 8. Okay, but using this understanding for completing the square, this changes what we do from this problem up above because we have this a value of negative 2. Okay, so what we will have to do, this is different from this problem because, like I said, we have an a value. We are still going to factor this, but since our a value is not 1, we are going to have a number outside the parentheses. And in this case, that number is negative 2. We have to factor out that negative 2 first in order before we complete the square. But notice how I'm not pulling out the a value from all 3 terms. I'm only pulling that a value out of these first 2, just like how that a value doesn't have anything to do with this k. The a value is just with the stuff, gets multiplied by the stuff in parentheses. So when you factor it out, it only deals with the first 2 terms. So you factor out your negative 2. So that would leave you with x squared. Oh, and that's great. You have an a value of 1 again on the inside. That's what we want. And then you'd have a positive 6x, and you still have plus blank. Then don't forget about that minus 10 on the outside. But then, once again, you have minus blank, right? These signs should be the opposite. Okay, so let's fill in that blank just like we did before. We're going to divide this 6 by 2, so that stays the same 3. You square it, so 9 goes in the blank. But you can't just put a minus 9 out here because if you were to simplify this, get rid of these parentheses, you would have to distribute out this negative 2. Which means when you put a 9 here to complete the square, you actually put in a negative 18 into your equation. Which means you'll have to multiply these 2 values, so this is where it gets a little more tricky. You're going to have to multiply negative 2 times 9, your a value, this negative 2, whatever you factored out, with whatever goes in the blank, and that, your negative 18, goes on the outside. Okay, so if you were to combine all these terms, this negative 18 and this minus negative 18, or in other words, adding 18, those would cancel, and that's what we want. The whole point of completing the square, adding on the inside and subtracting on the outside, is to keep your equation equal. So when you go to rewrite this, that negative 2 stays on the outside, something squared. How this factors is going to be x plus 3, right, from 3 squared. But then when you go to combine these, it's negative 10 minus a negative 18. In other words, negative 10 plus 18, which gives you a positive 8. So, and then with your g of x on the outside, we rewrote this in vertex form. And now we can look at this and get our vertex. Opposite of whatever's on the inside, negative 3, same as the outside, positive 8. Now, this isn't drastically harder, but it's just different. It adds a level of difficulty when your a value is not 1. So if I ever just ask for the vertex, and I don't mention completing the square in the directions, I would probably stick to using opposite of b over 2a. Because it does get a little more complicated with an a value, but at least there's less room for error. So I would recommend using opposite of b over 2a whenever I just ask for the vertex, but here's the method that you can use to complete the square if you so desire. So here are a couple more examples. Where I'm just going to say find the vertex, and you can use whatever method you want. So if you take a look, you have 3x squared minus 16x plus 12. So we know now how to complete the square with an a value that's not 1, or we can use opposite of b over 2a. And I'm going to say if you tried to complete the square here, you can put these in parentheses, but right away there should be a red flag. 16 is not divisible by 3. That doesn't mean this is impossible to do. That just means this makes this problem much harder. So instead of trying to do completing the square for a problem like this, since this b value is not divisible by the a value, I would recommend using your opposite of b over 2 times a. Okay, so why don't you try that for this one, but then looking at this next one, if you wanted to group those together, that works out kind of nicely since negative 9 is divisible by 3. So why don't you pause the video and try these out. You might get decimals, but that's okay. All right, so both of these were a little messy, but that's okay. I just wanted to give you these so that way you recognize that it's not always going to be nice even numbers like the ones we had up above. It could be a decimal. So if this ever happens, I'm not going to expect that you do this in your head, but it's a good practice to know how to square fractions or multiply fractions, all those things. So yeah, when you do opposite of b over 2a, that'd be positive 16 over 2 times 3, which is 6, which is the same as 2 2/3. You take that and replace it where you see x in the equation, and that would give you negative 9 1/3. So just looking at that, you'll be able to see that that is kind of messy. I would not have recommended that you do that by completing the square. But even taking a look at this next one, when you go to complete the square, again, group these first two terms together, factor out the a value of 3, and that's nice because negative 9 is divisible by 3. So you'll have x squared minus 3x plus blank, and that ends up being a decimal, what goes in that blank, but that's okay. Take your negative 3 divided by 2 and square it, so 2.25, but whatever goes on the outside, you have to multiply the a value with whatever's in the blank. So 3 times 2.25, which is 6.75. And that's, this one actually stays a minus since our a value is positive. Positive, negative. When you combine it, gets you to a k value of negative 1.75. So this would be our vertex. Okay, hope that helps.